The war in Afghanistan was the longest in American history. It officially ended in 2014 when the U.S. and its allies concluded their combat mission. But 13,400 NATO-led forces, a majority of them Americans, are still in the country to support an Afghan government under siege from the Taliban and a newer foe, Islamic State. If the coalition troops leave, the Afghan military could be defeated by its tenacious enemies. So here's the situation. Since the Afghan military took over security control in 2014, conflict in the country has escalated. The radical group Islamic State established a presence in the country's east and has claimed credit for terrorist attacks in the capital, Kabul. But the larger threat is the resurgent Taliban, which has gradually taken over more territory. And U.S. officials are worried that Russia may be arming the group. Russia has denied it. The Taliban have been helped by the fact that the Afghan military lacks air power and has suffered heavy combat losses and desertions. In 2016, civilian casualties rose to almost 11,500, the highest level since the UN started tracking them, and 660,000 people were forced to flee from their homes. Now here's the argument. Some U.S. officials and lawmakers think it's time to completely withdraw U.S. troops. They fear getting dragged back into heavy fighting if the Kabul government fails. Others say the U.S. has committed too much to leave and argue that, with more help, the Afghan government can contain the Taliban, defeat Islamic State, and stop a resurgence of terror group Al-Qaeda, which provoked the war in the first place by planning the September 11 attacks from Afghanistan. Both sides point to Iraq. In 2011, the Iraqi government forced the U.S. into a total withdrawal. But then, the explosive rise of Islamic State prompted a return of U.S. forces 3 years later. The Iraq experience can stand either as a reminder of the danger of a complete pullout, or it's the argument for leaving before the bottom completely drops out.